Obviously, the environment down here is all salt. The ceiling's salt, the floor is salt, the walls are salt, and to an extent, the air is salt. And you breathe that in, and you can constantly taste the salt.
All right, I think we're live. I see my green bar going up. You want to check for your green bar, make sure it's going up?
Yes, I believe my green bar is going up as well.
Okay, I need to turn you down a little bit. There we go. That should be better. You're starting to peak a
Okay.
little.
Oh, I sound loud today. Okay, we're good. It's amazing what the new mixer does.
Yes. Yeah, that mixer does supply you with quite a lot of power there. Just like how my new audio setup supplies me with plenty of power. Oh, feels good, man.
Oh, bliss.
So
how have you been?
I've been good. It's been like a week or so since we've or a week, almost 2 weeks now, since we've done stuff because the holidays. It's been good. How's your holidays been?
Doing good.
Nice.
Yeah, went out of town.
Anything fun or eventful happen?
Not really, just outside of usual family stuff, drama.
Fair enough.
What it can be like.
Trust me, I can definitely understand that.
Yeah.
All right, but hey, we're back in the saddle now. Got some news topics this week. And for those who are unaware of who we are, my name is Matthew Garcia. I'm the host here on the Pass the Salt podcast here on Tech for Thought. And with me I have...
Taylor, hello. I'm co-host, co-founder, co-person.
co the things.
Yeah.
All right. And let me start pulling up stuff. As we dive into it all, we do always thank you guys for watching. If you do think we've earned it, go ahead and hit that. There we go. I got to click to show that. Do thank you guys for watching. If you do think we've earned it, go ahead and hit that sub button, ring that bell to know when we go live. That would be much appreciated. We always go live here 1 p.m. Arizona time here on our channel. You can do the conversion there. We're currently Mountain Standard Time to give you an idea. At least until, was it like March or something like that?
Yeah, it's in the spring.
Yeah, somewhere around there we'll switch back. But hey, if you also want to figure it out, we do also have several social medias, such as Twitter at tech_4, the number 4_thought, and our Instagram at tech_4, spelled FOR_thought. All right. Now, if my internet go out. Oh no, you're just standing really still.
No, I'm sorry. I threw on a sound really quick just to make sure. I was getting like this weird noise in my right ear, so I was making sure it was. Yeah.
Do you hear
the plane? Yeah.
It's not a plane. It's somebody with a weed whacker.
Oh.
Or no, not a
lawnmower.
No, it's a leaf blower. Yeah.
Okay.
Wonderful timing.
Where is the water cooler? It's in the other room as usual. It's where it always is.
We're not moving that again. That's a no-go there, Chief.
It's more like we're not repairing it again.
Oh, the repair was simple.
Yeah, true. I feel like, I don't know, it's like the repair would have been a lot more simple if we didn't have to worry about like filming it.
Yeah, that's true. But it would have taken the same amount of time because you and I are still working on it and Sean was just filming in the background.
True. Anyway,
at least we would have taken it outside initially.
Yes.
And not be dumb about that aspect of it.
Yes.
Good thing you got tile flooring.
Part of the floor still really clean.
Nice.
Yeah.
All right. Perfect. And as a final thing, of course, if you do wish to support us, we do actually have a membership type thing. If you're unfamiliar with how that works, think of it like how Twitch has subs. You can join our memberships. You get the nice badges and the cool emojis. You see people posting in the chat. I'm always working on making more using our mascot there that we haven't given a name for yet. We'll figure that out one day.
Yeah.
Until then, we'll just have the tech girl or cat girl mascot.
Yeah.
All right. Anything you wanted to go over or say before we dived into our news topics?
Nope, I'm good.
All right. Well, I think we could lead it. Oh, my eyes are blinded with a white screen. I think we could lead it off here with our main topic here about Nvidia losing an arm.
Headline topic. Hey. Yeah.
So with it,
Water cooler Chan.
Water cooler Chan. No. That will
Wait,
not.
oh my god. Okay, so uh
Yes.
watch this video last night. You know the anime man?
Anime man.
Joey the anime man?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Okay. He had a video where it's like he paid artists on Fiverr to do like I forget the exact term for it, but it's basically like you know how there's like Earth Chan and like Black Hole Chan,
Yeah.
it's like turning like objects or like things into anime girls.
Mm-hmm.
He paid artists on Fiverr to do that.
Mm-hmm.
We could pay an artist to like do water cooler Chan.
We yes, that I will look into that. Let's put it that way. And if they do a good enough job, then we can give them the task of our primary mascot.
Yeah.
How's that
I'll
sound?
show you the video later.
We can watch that later for research purposes, obviously.
Exactly.
Okay, now actually into our news topic.
Sorry. Anyway.
You're fine. But the FTC sues Nvidia to preserve ARM's status as Switzerland of semiconductors.
I disagree with that framing, but I agree with the sentiment that Nvidia probably shouldn't have ARM, but let's continue reading.
Well, comment real quick from Oleander. I sometimes watch Anime Man's content. I'm not sub to him, but it's great as a background noise. That is true too.
That's fair, yeah. And welcome back, Oleander Rainbow. Nice to see you again.
Yeah, it's nice to always have you around. As we dive into the topic here, let's see. So the Federal Trade Commission has sued to block Nvidia's acquisition of ARM, the semiconductor design firm, saying that the blockbuster deal would unfairly stiffen or stifle competition. The FTC is suing to block the largest semiconductor chip merger in history to prevent a chip conglomerate from stifling the innovation pipeline for next generation technologies. Holly Vidova, director of FTC Competition Bureau, said in a statement. Tomorrow's technology depends on preserving today's competitive, cutting-edge chip markets. The proposed deal would distort ARM's incentives in chip markets and allow the combined firm to unfairly undermine Nvidia's rivals. Nvidia's first announced the intention of acquire ARM in September of 2020, and at the time the deal was worth $40 billion. But since then, ARM stock has soared, and the cost to the cash as stock transition has risen up to $75 billion.
Jesus Christ.
Holy crap. The FTC lawsuit threatens to scuttle the deal entirely. As we move into the next steps of the FTC process, we will continue to work to demonstrate that this transaction will benefit the industry and promote competition. And NVIDIA spokesperson told Ars, being Ars Technica, that is. NVIDIA is committed to preserving ARM's open license model and ensuring that its IP is available to all interested licensees, current and future. This is background noise, not wrong. I mean, the WAN show makes great background noise too, so.
Yeah.
Initial thoughts about this blockage.
It made sense. It is honestly fairly common for not only the US government, other governments to sue various companies over acquisitions like this. So the FTC suing is not like very new, like a new thing or like a huge deal necessarily. It's just more of like governments do this typically when they want to figure out a lot more information about the merger and want like the company acquiring something to have like a better argument, like a better legal argument for acquiring and whatnot. And I don't know, honestly, and the US is the only one doing it. I don't know if the article like goes on to talk about it, but it's like last week or maybe 2 weeks ago, because I thought about maybe doing this as a topic on the podcast. It's like some of UK's national security agencies were looking into this acquisition as well, because ARM is actually a UK-based company.
Yeah.
So
yeah, it does go in a little bit about that, and with other stuff, I'll go into that in a moment.
Yeah, and I believe China is kind of throwing a fit about it too, just because so many state-owned tech giants like Huawei and whatnot are based on ARM.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
With it, do you think ARM should be independent?
Yes, I do.
So you do not think the merger should happen?
Yes.
Okay, cool.
Wait, actually, that would, come to think of it, that would completely kill Huawei. Like their chips, because
they're all based off ARM.
Yeah, and Nvidia is a U.S. company. ARM would become a U.S. company after the acquisition and whatnot, and U.S. companies are still forbidden from doing business with Huawei.
That is actually hilarious. Yes, that is a good insight there. But with it, and the U.S. is not the only one interested in looking at this merger and seeing what they can what's going on. Going into the section about global pressures, the FCC isn't the first government regulator to scrutinize the deal. In October, the European Union announced that it was investigating the acquisition, and last month, UK officials said they were concerned that the merger would threaten both competition and national security. China's regulators are also looking into the deal, Nvidia said. Much of the angst surrounding before I move on, ARM is an independent woman who don't need no corporate man. Facts.
That's pretty good.
ARM Chan.
Yeah.
ARM Chan, yeah.
ARM Chan, yeah.
Much of the angst surrounding the acquisition stems from the fact that for most of its history, ARM has been a relatively neutral player in semiconductor world, offering access to its intellectual property to nearly anyone willing to pay the licensing fee. In the complaint, the FTC called ARM the Switzerland of the semiconductor industry.
It's kind of like a for-profit open source almost. It's like
Yeah.
kind of a way to describe their business model. It's like
Yeah.
pretty much anyone can use it, license it out, modify it, and whatnot. You just need to actually get said permission first and pay for it. So
Yeah, it's more like what's it called? I forget. It's like a consumer agreements license, something like that, where it's more
Yeah.
open source.
yeah.
But where was I? There we go. Customers fear that an Nvidia-controlled ARM would place them at the mercy of a competitor, while regulators are concerned that the acquisition would threaten to topple a massive, thriving ecosystem that depends on the architecture. ARM began as a niche semiconductor designer, offering low-power chips for embedded systems and for portable devices like Apple Newton and Palm Pilots. Over the years, as the performance of ARM chips improved and the importance of energy efficiency grew, the semiconductor found their way into a wider range of devices. And today, ARM's design and instruction set are widely used, appearing in every form of mobile phones to servers, automotive airbag controllers, and supercomputers. Recently, ARM chips have started making inroads in the PC world, ramping up pressure on incumbents like Intel and AMD, and Apple's M1 chips showed just how competitive the architecture could be with x86 designs. And others have begun to follow the suit. Earlier this week, Qualcomm announced a new Snapdragon processor, the awkwardly named 8CX Gen 3, which would that is really weird, which would run an ARM-specific version of Windows.
Qualcomm plays.
They since they transitioned away from their typical naming scheme, it's been garbage.
Yeah.
Good drinks.
All right. Yeah, so the rest of it is not really. It's just a bunch of more supplemental info. It's like, yep, ARM is doing numbers.
Padding.
It's in a lot of systems, etc. So,
Yeah,
all right. So what do you think? Do you think the merger should go through?
That's a good question. I'm not certain exactly how I feel about this. Monitor is tilted the wrong direction. There we go.
Okay.
Sorry, that was bothering me.
You're good.
I'm not exactly certain how I feel about it because, free market and all that type of stuff. But I do believe that it is up to ARM in the end whether or not they wish to stay independent or not. If the head decides to sell, then so what? But I would be on the side of it just staying independent as is.
Well, I believe less market consolidation results in a freer market because there's more
Sure.
competition.
Yeah.
To go into that angle a little bit.
Yeah.
Just from a sole cost perspective, I'm not for this at all. This is an insane amount of money for Nvidia to be spending on the acquisition. It's it's
To be
inflated
fair,
at
if
the
anybody's
75
got
billion.
the money.
Yeah, true. But also, it's not just that cost of actually buying the company. It's every other company now, which are primarily U.S. companies that are going to be affected by this. Also, running ARM, stuff and whatnot to make their own architecture. Like Apple, Amazon Web Service uses ARM-based servers and whatnot. They're going to have to spend the millions, if not billions, of dollars that it's like Apple has not already spent on their M series chips, like the M1 chips and whatnot already, into now we don't necessarily want to compete with, or we necessarily don't want to buy from Nvidia, to Apple might actually see as a competitor. and be like, so we have to spend another millions, if not billions, into R&D of a new chip.
Yeah.
You know, that's maybe like RISC-V based or something, you know, or RISC-V, whatever.
Yeah, no, I agree on that part.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like
It's going to hurt a lot of U.S. companies in the sense of if they don't want to, feed their competitor.
Yeah, no, that makes sense. To be fair, if Apple really cared about that, then they shouldn't be buying screens from Samsung.
Sure. Well, yeah, but at the same time, Samsung like display is like sanctioned off or like portioned off a certain way that Apple's okay with it because Apple doesn't make their own screens.
Yeah,
I think like the panel in MacBooks is made by LG actually.
I don't know on that part. They just need to make their software work better.
They just made it so that the MacBook Airs don't crack randomly.
They need to make it so it just works.
Exactly.
But I mean, I'm behind the independence of ARM. I do definitely understand that, but we'll see what happens on that part. I don't know what Nvidia's necessarily game plan was with buying ARM on that part outside of just having the free access to that type of info and the manufacturing capabilities too.
Right.
I think that's probably the biggest thing for Nvidia. It was just easiest way to get a fab going.
Maybe, yeah. It would be a really it's a very fun but very expensive way to screw over China though.
That is true. That is also very true.
Which is kind of hilarious.
Yeah. Isn't no, that's a New York Stock Exchange. I was wondering if Nvidia was traded in China at all. I don't think so.
Let's see. Hong Kong.
I know Razer is.
Yeah, let's see. Hold on. Hong Kong Stock Exchange Nvidia. No. Let's see. It doesn't look like it. What about? Huh?
Because I know that Nvidia is traded on the New York Stock Exchange.
Yeah. It is an American company.
Yeah. Interesting little tidbits there. But with it, I mean, I'm interested to see what comes out of it necessarily. I find Nvidia's, at least so far, the big investment is almost, or that $40 billion investment is almost doubled for them. So,
right? Yeah.
Yeah. Again, to reiterate a point, ARM is an independent 1970s working office woman who don't need no corporate man.
Fair enough. Yeah, it's not like ARM is at risk of going under necessarily, so they need to sell out, you know. So it's nothing like that.
Yeah, no,
it kind of, I believe the point you're trying to make.
It doesn't need to go in the corner.
Yeah, so
but I know I agree that it should stand on its own. It's one of those weird things that's it's just in the weird limbo state where I have no idea what's going to happen next on that point, or what's exactly in Nvidia's mind outside of easy access to fabs.
I would imagine with the current mindset of our current Congress, at least here in the U.S., as well as how the federal courts are currently sort of playing out with stuff, I would imagine that the U.S. wouldn't let this go through, in all honesty.
I can see that. We'll see. It'd be a fun way to screw over China, though.
It would be, yeah.
That would be hilarious to watch. But you know what's also going to be pretty interesting to see develop?
Huh.
Nvidia's Geforce Rtx 4000 series.
You mean more GPUs that you won't be able to buy?
They're getting better. Slowly, but surely. But with it, NVIDIA's brought to you by GPU Mag. NVIDIA's GeForce RTX 4000 series release date, price, and specs. So, wowee. So with it, we don't know a whole lot about NVIDIA's GeForce RTX 40 or 4000 series cards. Unfortunately, no one does at the time of writing this article. However, some information we've managed to gather at this new generation of GPUs. We also consider NVIDIA's previous GPU lineup, the RTX 3000 series, as a performance improvements over the RTX 2000 series. This helps us visualize the potential of the RTX 4000 GPUs. I like it. If you are... I could skip that part. There we go. So currently there's no official information regarding the release date of the following NVIDIA GPU lineup. So what do we know so far? Well, there's something in the works for sure. Duh.
Really? There was something in the works as of like 3 years ago, 4 years ago. You
Yeah.
know, these things take a lot of time.
Yeah, judging by Nvidia's GPU history and the pattern of the GPU releases, the RTX 4000 series is almost certainly already in development. Duh. Based on Nvidia's official architecture roadmap, the Ampere Next, or Ada Lovelace, has a planned 2022 release, and by 2024, they believe they'll have Ampere Next ready, which is supposed to be
Ampere plus plus.
facts, the RTX 5000 series. Still all makes sense. The latest leak by Copight 7 Kimi claims that the RTX 4000 series could show up in Q3 of 2022. However, we are not sure whether Kimi refers to the summer release or an announcement, but it could be either. To be fair,
It'll usually be like the September event, like usual, or like August, September event Nvidia likes to do.
Got to get it for that holiday season.
Exactly.
So Nvidia's stopgap. It still feels early for the RTX 4000 series. No, it doesn't, considering the relatively recent 3070 Ti and 3080 Ti releases. But wait, Nvidia is planning more. Circulating rumors hint that towards the RTX 3000 Super GPUs that will release at the end of 2021 or early 2022. So we're talking like 3090 Super with 10,752 CUDA cores, 24 gigs of GDR6X RAM. That's gonna run hot as hell.
I love this dude's profile picture.
Where is it?
Oh, it doesn't load for you. Okay.
Oh, it's probably the ad blocker.
I have an ad blocker too, but it still loads for me. I don't. Whatever.
Are you using a Brave browser or Firefox?
Yeah.
I'm using Firefox.
Yeah. Oh.
Maybe a little bit of a difference there.
Yeah. Anyway.
Yeah. But the above leaks by Kimi show the specs of the entire lineup. Highlights include increased CUDA cores, VRAM memory, and an upgraded GDR6X from GDR6 non-X, excluding the 3060 Super. This card's going to run nice and toasty. Another reliable leaker also claims that all next-gen GPUs will be released by October 2022 in regards to the 4000 series, I would assume. Neat. Just not not going to be able to buy it during the holiday season because it's going to get
I know. Wow, perfect. Okay.
Bought out. As mentioned previously, no official info is available for the RTX 4000 series, but there have been some leaks. Currently, the only concrete information is codenamed Ada Lovelace, which is the microarchitecture will be on a 5nm fabrication process, a giant leap from 8nm Ampere Samsung chips. A smaller microarchitecture will result in two significant benefits: more performance and a lot less power. That is true. Thanks to the 5nm architecture, NVIDIA gets those benefits by cramming more transistors onto this chip, which
18,500 CUDA cores, supposedly.
4-slot cards, here we come.
Damn.
The leak suggests that for more than 7,500 CUDA cores on the GA102, which is the 3080 and 3090 chips. This includes almost double the graphics processing clusters, 7 to 12, and 30 more TPCs or texture processing clusters. That's a massive bump in specifications, considering Ampere chips had an increase just 1 GPC from the Turing 102 chip. Total graphics card power is going to be 400 plus watts.
Yeah.
That's hot, man. That's really hot.
I think it's going to go even hotter. I think it'll I think on the higher end, like a 4090 might push 600 to 700. Easily.
At what point do you just hook up the house's heating system to your card?
We're reaching that point, huh?
Yeah.
You need a miniature AC unit to cool your PC.
Yeah, and it also can mine Bitcoin for you.
Right, exactly.
2 birds, 1 stone. God, that is going to be insane if that's true.
Oh my god.
Hey, you want to burn up another Corsair power supply?
Not really, but sure.
Then there you go.
Let's do it anyway.
Let's go. Oh my god, I just love it because there's no current public benchmarks. We do not currently have a way to be able to look at price. It's like, obviously we get that. It's all speculation.
Yes, okay.
All right.
So I guess, okay, first thing to ask about what do you think about like the supposed release date for it? Like it made sense, but do you think it's
October.
too soon?
No,
Okay. Even if like the supers come out early next year?
no, because the Nvidia's never shied away from that in the past.
Yeah, true.
Yeah, so like Nvidia's just gonna keep releasing like annual cards, so there's
Pretty much, yeah.
no surprise there. Um, I just wonder if at like some point they're gonna try to at least dial in the power consumption a little bit, or do you think they're just gonna let it go free reign?
I think they'll just keep letting it go for a while.
Yeah, just like the prices on that MSRP.
Right, exactly. Which is probably, I feel like everything's gonna be doubled with these cards. Double the price, double the performance, double the double the power consumption.
Yeah. Well, if it's coming in late 2022, there should be at least some hope for a little bit of relief when it comes to supply.
Yeah, they'll be at the very beginning of things starting to get good again. I don't know. Supposedly, yeah.
I am both excited to see the performance, but just scary to see how many like of these cards die just from how much power it's gonna draw.
Right, exactly.
Do you think
and how much?
Do you think they'll?
Cost.
That's also true. That is like something separate in its own. There's gonna be $2,000 plus cards, I bet.
Yeah.
Do you think that they'll keep with the 12-pin design? Is that rated for like 400 watts?
Yeah, they'll be able to pull that out, no problem. I don't think.
Quadruple 8 pins.
Yeah. 16-pin connection. Let's go.
It's gonna be just hook up your 24-pin power supply to it.
Honestly,
call it a day.
Honestly, might as well.
Yeah, at least the power delivery would be a lot more consistent.
Mm-hmm.
Until it spikes and blows up a power supply.
Yeah.
So
Gigabyte fears the future.
What do you think the scalp prices on these cards are gonna look like?
4,000 to 5,000.
4,000 to 5,000.
Yeah.
And what do you think is gonna be the primary driver for that?
What do you mean?
I'm trying to use this as a transition. I was pulling up the bot outlaw thing.
Yeah, bots. Bot. I mean, obviously, how scalping. Obviously, how scalping works. It's like bots will buy it up.
I was trying to do a transition. It didn't work out.
I'm sorry.
It's fine. It's all good. I'm not upset. I'm not seething.
I thought you were asking what's going to be driving the
I'm not coping.
demand. I thought you were asking what's going to like be driving the demand for these cards. It's like
people.
Yeah, exactly. People who want the graphics card. Weird question, but okay.
Yeah, but as I tried transitioning into the next topic,
yes.
In regards to that specific problem, so Democrats have pushed to outlaw bots from snatching up online goods. A group of Democratic lawmakers are reintroducing legislation to outlaw the use of automated bots to buy up retail goods, such as video game consoles, graphic cards from websites. On Monday, U.S. Rep. Paul Tonko and Senator Richard Blumenthal, Chuck Schumer, and Ben Ray Lujan announced a new push to stop Grinch Bots Act. That's a weird name for it. The bicameral bill will crack down on cyber Grinches using bot technology to quickly buy up whole inventories of popular holiday toys and resell them to parents at higher prices, the lawmaker said in a statement.
I'm not sure I would consider like a PS5 or like a 3090 a toy necessarily, but let's go with it.
Scalping technically should be a crime by way of it's a form of extortion for goods, if that makes any semblance of sense. No, that's
I see what you're saying. Yeah, I got you. Yeah, fair enough.
Pro tip: it's already illegal.
Scalping or buying through bots?
Buying through bots.
You mentioned that before the show, and I kind of want a citation needed.
I'll have to research in a moment, but I did read something on it the other day. I just have to find it again.
Oh wait, the article talks about it actually.
Okay, cool. As well as we dive deeper into that, the average holiday shopper is unable to compete with the light speed of an all too common Grinch bot and are held at ransom by scalpers and third-party resellers when trying to buy holiday presents, Schumer said in the announcement. After a particularly trying year, no parent or American should have to fork over hundreds or even thousands of dollars to buy Christmas and holiday gifts to the children and loved ones. Let's be honest here. You're already spending hundreds, if not $1,000s MSRP on those type of goods. So
yeah, true, but
yeah. But the proposed legislation expands on the earlier law passed in 2016 that outlawed automated bots from circumventing control measures to buy up ticket sales for public events such as music concerts and sporting events. In addition, the law made it illegal for scalpers to resell the tickets obtained through bots.
That's the law you're referring to.
That's the one I was referring to.
It's only specific to tickets.
They don't enforce it.
Yeah, well, okay, that's kind of like the issue with this also, though, is this is very hard to enforce because how do you enforce it, you know? Because, so, okay, let's run this through, right? Let's run this through. So it's like, do you quantity cap it or something? If so, what's a fair quantity to cap it at? You can't necessarily do one per person, because what if somebody has like quintuplets or something, or twins or whatever? They need to buy 2 graphics cards for their twins as gaming PCs, this year, stuff like that. So that's not necessarily a good metric.
And it's hard to time it because you could just program bots to try to find it or make it happen within that given time frame.
Right, exactly. You can't do like captchas and everything because there are literally companies in Southeast Asia, we're talking like Malaysian, Chinese sweatshops here and everything, that literally just have people on staff that solve captchas for bots trying to buy stuff. That's what they do all day. It's just like gold farming for MMOs or something. Yeah. I'm serious. No, I'm serious. Like,
I don't doubt it. I know.
So it's like, this is incredibly hard to enforce.
Yeah, very much so. And it's hard to trace as well because, I mean, you'd have to do some massive overreach by the government to be able to try to trace that type of stuff.
Right, which we don't necessarily want either. It's just like, Oleander Ramos says, just let people buy their holiday shit with good deals. It's not that hard. I understand someone's hard up for cash, but my God, don't be inconvenient. Yeah?
Yeah. That's why I always love brick and mortar stores, to be honest.
Right, exactly.
Makes it
a relatively enforced MSRP. Yeah.
Yeah, well, not only that, but it's just scalping is not as common in those type of areas, at least.
Right.
Like, I've never been to a GameStop where there's been scalping going on.
Yeah.
Or
just GameStop themselves are the scalpers.
That's a story for a different day. I'm just kidding. No, I've never had issues actually getting stuff like GameStop or Walmart at MSRP on that part if I was interested in buying something.
Right.
Yeah. So feels good, man. Feels good. But online, that's a completely different game. Look, all I'm saying is Micro Center, just start opening up some more locations.
Right, exactly.
Got places here in Arizona you can get free Fry's real estate there.
Mm-hmm.
I don't doubt this bill. Of course, it has good intentions and whatnot. I just wonder what they will allow to be able to track those now criminals on that part.
Right, exactly. It's like we run into the issue of enforcement once again. That's the thing. This is difficult, if not nigh impossible, to enforce without a serious breach of privacy they don't necessarily want.
Extremely. Olander says, I love brick and mortar stores, bookstores, mainly because
same.
I like the thrill of looking for a specific book. Anywho, back on the topic at hand. No, I love going to bookstores in person. They're awesome, especially the older ones. Barnes & Noble's great, but like some of the older, more obscure ones too, they have some really interesting stuff.
I don't think I've ever actually bought a book online.
You bought manga online, does that count?
I've never bought manga online either.
Oh no, that's your Blu-ray collection that I'm thinking of.
Yeah. I've never actually bought like books or like manga or light novels online before.
I've only ever bought them for my sister.
Okay.
Oh no, I've actually bought one thing online because I couldn't find it in person, and it was wait, no, I did find that in person. Never mind. I've only ever personally bought books in person. But I have like a bookshelf full of things right now. I probably need to go through it and organize it a bit.
Anywho,
back to the topic on hand.
yeah.
But it's, yeah, like we've talked about, it's just a matter of enforcement, and there's just no reasonable way to enforce it. Yeah.
No, because I definitely don't want it to be a system where it's like for every purchase you have to like validate with an ID or something. You know, it's like
See,
for something that's not an illegal substance,
Yeah.
or and not an illegal, but like a contraband substance like alcohol or something.
Yeah. I mean, there are some methods with that where I could see a retail store, for example, where they would have a membership oh, you've disappeared. Have a membership program where they would, you'd subscribe to it, give some form of authentication, and then from there you can make the purchase being verified on that part. That at least would be a little bit of a better system, depending on who wishes to go with that.
Yeah.
That could be one interesting way to solve it, but that would require a good network setup. I don't really know anybody off the top of my head who would be interested in setting that up, though, because let's be honest here, retail or stores on that front, especially online, stuff sells out, they make money, they're done.
Right, exactly. End of their story.
Yeah. Let's pull up some interesting info here. Let's go. And do you think it's time to move on to the next topic?
I think so, yeah.
Let's see. What should I grab from the list? Let me pull up this. Well, I guess while we're on the topic of American legislation, this next article brought to you by WCCF Tech. Intel's chief says Taiwan's instability calls for subsidies to American chip makers.
I fully agree.
Thanks, Pat Gelsinger. But Intel Corporation chief CEO Patrick Gelsinger stressed the need to support American companies in the ongoing push to develop a sustainable semiconductor supply chain in the United States. I do support that. The executive made his comments at the Fortune Brainstorm Tech Conference held in Half Moon Bay, California, with a statement coming that in the wake of a Korean giant Samsung Group decision to build a $17 billion semiconductor fabrication facility in Taylor, Texas. Hey, Taylor.
Hey.
There we go. Details of his talk at the event reported by the Nikkei Asian. Oh,
Nikkei.
I got distracted by Chloe jumping on your bed. The
You're good.
Nikkei Asian Review stressed the need to develop American firms that are capable of competing globally. I was trying to say competing globally when it comes to manufacturing advanced semiconductors. Gelsinger believes that by supporting firms like Microtechnology, Texas Instruments, and Intel, the United States.
Fuck AMD, am I right?
Fuck. Yeah. I mean, to be fair, would Intel ever call out AMD like that?
No. He also left out Nvidia for what it's worth too.
That is also true. The United States government can ensure that the precious intellectual property related to chip fabrication stays within the country, according to him, and the geopolitical fragility of Taiwan necessitates the need to have reliant chip IP based inside the U.S. Yeah, no, I agree with everything so far on that point.
Yeah. Rest of the article talks about China's incursions into warplanes, and also the U.S. government kind of fails to give subsidies to chip makers in the U.S.
Yeah,
which contrasts Asian countries.
Yes,
which is true. Oh, go ahead.
I was gonna say one big thing about it is there's so much red tape and things you have to do as well to get something like this going inside the U.S. It's a really big deal. That's why no phones are manufactured inside the U.S. It's because just the amount of stuff you have to go through to be able to get to that point, it's not feasible for even somebody like Apple. Yeah,
right, exactly. It's like Apple does have factories or plants in the US, like they're a Flex factory in Texas or whatever, but it doesn't make phones. It does other stuff besides the iPhone.
Yeah, it does other things. It's with it. I do believe that there should be manufacturing inside the US for this type of stuff. I wonder what type of subsidies does he want though, in terms of whether it be a cut check or a tax break.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I think maybe just some form of help would honestly go a long way. But I don't know. It's like maybe my favorite point that Ed Yell Sr. made was talking about how it's like this is in such a contrast to Asian countries with thriving chip makers and whatnot. Because you look at like South Korea and Taiwan, they invested very early on in their modern economic development into, you know, TSMC or Samsung or Lucky Gold Star, which is now LG and whatnot, you know, SK Hynix. They invested very early, almost to their detriment, to a point, you know, it's like where money was going away from like agricultural development or, you know, other like needed to live stuff and going on to chip manufacturers. There were a time in like the 80s and 90s when Samsung was a little bit rough and the South Korean government was like, just stay afloat, you can operate at a loss, we'll cover you, just keep going, keep building, you know, stuff like that. So it's like these countries focused very hard for a very long time on subsidizing and almost fully supporting the tech companies.
Yeah, and they still are to some extent, because I know Samsung, for what it's worth, is building like 3 new fabs in South Korea. It's something crazy like that.
And those are totally bankrolled by the government.
100%.
Which you did argue most of that money came from Samsung originally because of how much Samsung pays in taxes to the South Korean government. But then the South Korean government also pays Samsung for like military contracts. And it's like Samsung is essentially the economy of South Korea.
For the most part,
There's some stupid number, like it's 14% of the South Korean economy, like entirely is just Samsung.
Yeah, I honestly, to be fair, it's also a pretty small country as well, so it's not too surprising. It's like Taiwan being like basing pretty much their entire industry just off chip making too.
Right, exactly.
Yeah, it's not too unbelievable. But with it, I think I do hope that more companies have the opportunity to be able to bring more chip manufacturing home to the U.S. on that part. Okay, that's not. I heard a hose going off in the background, like outside my window, and I thought it was my headphones at first because I thought I just closed a window down in Firefox, so I thought my headphones were freaking out.
It's like, whoa,
because sometimes I can't tell what's real and not with this.
What is real?
What is real?
I will say also, just like the U.S. has certain geographic areas that would really lend itself to chip manufacturing. Like you can get places that are like earthquake free, not prone to flooding, but still have decent rainfall.
Arizona.
Exactly. No, you're pretty good. Yeah.
That's why Intel plans on opening up like 2 fabs here. I think, did Foxconn open up a fab, or are they planning to?
They want to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know
they were supposed to, but it's sort of turned into vaporware. There's like this whole thing about it.
Yeah, but there are good locations for it all over the U.S. Nevada would also be a good one. Yep, you're off. I know. Like basically anywhere in like that lower west belt would be pretty good. Outside of Colorado, they're very woodsy and hilly.
But yeah. Anyway,
there we go. But what was I gonna say?
If we annex Canada, we have even more prime real estate to put fabs. Natural air cooling.
Let's just annex Mexico while we're at it.
Hell yeah! All right.
They aren't doing anything there.
Right, exactly.
Oh my god. But you know what else isn't doing too much? Windows 11.
This is quite the opposite of doing numbers.
It is quite the opposite of doing numbers. For the next topic in itself, so Windows 11 has less than a 0.21% adoption rate for compatible PCs as a land sweeper.
Not that I really blame people, but
damn. It's not looking good. But market research done by Landsweeper reports that less than 0.21% of the 10 million PCs it surveyed had upgraded to Windows 11 from Windows 10, despite the upgrade being free. Additionally, more people are running outdated Windows such as 7, Vista, XP, and etc. than 11. God. Windows 11 has been released for 3 months now, just to give you a reference.
Really?
Point. Yes, it has.
Huh.
Damn, that really sucks. Are we still in the flop good cycle now?
Yes, this is now being considered a flop, hence we're
Oh no. To quote Microsoft, oh, there we go. Microsoft Windows 11 now nearing its 3rd month since release is, for all intents and purposes, a flop. A market research by Landscaper, which surveyed over 10 million PCs across commercial personal market segments, report that less than 0.21% of the users surveyed had upgraded from Windows 10 to the newer operating system. And of course, it's free of charge. According to Landscaper data, there could be more people running outdated Windows XP, Vista, Windows 8, etc. than Windows 11. And this poses a great security risk as these operating systems are no longer supported by Microsoft for regular security updates. Windows 10, on the other hand, is eligible for them until mid-2025. Plenty of time for people to upgrade hardware and meet Windows 11 system requirements. Okay, it's not...
Based on just like the cycle, then I'd say Windows 12 would be up by 2025.
Yeah. With that as well, it's not that the hardware, people's hardware is inadequate. It's that Windows, or Microsoft more specifically, is requiring things that are just not set by default. So people people have to flip a couple switches. With a 3900X 2070 Super build, not eligible for the upgrade.
Cope.
I don't care.
I know.
I'll run my stable program. You can be a beta tester. Thank you very much.
Yeah, and it's been going well. Thank you.
But additional Landscaper data research focused on Windows 11 adoption rates have revealed some interesting data, as only 0.2% of users have made the jump to Windows 11. For the moment, Windows 10 holds a lead of 81.48% and remains the most popular by a long stretch. But more interesting, Windows 11 adoption is now barely over Windows 2000, which is at 0.15%, and Vista at 0.18%, but still far below Windows XP at 3.62% and Windows 7 at 5.98%, which all are end of life.
Rest in peace, Windows 7. There'll never be another one like you. You were a real one.
Rest in peace, Windows XP. Not even a 0.25%. Feels bad, man.
I am the 0.2%. There's literally dozens of us.
Congratulations, you are the minority.
Yeah, really. Okay.
All right.
I don't really blame people, in all honesty.
Yeah, I don't either. Especially with all the stuff going on and the stupid requirements and things like that.
Yeah, I don't really blame people. But Microsoft realizes it's a flop soon enough, then we only have to wait 2 to 3 years before Windows 12.
True.
Because that's what happened with 8 and 10.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
No,
Windows 8 came out
in Windows 13.
Oh. Yeah.
Because they had 8.1, which was the equivalent of a Windows 9, but it still sucked.
Yeah.
Damn. Feels bad, man.
Yeah.
Happy to know that Microsoft is still being Microsoft. If there's any consistency in the universe, it's death, taxes, and Microsoft messing up on a cycle.
Right, exactly. Very consistent cycle, which I guess is good to their credit. I don't know. Is that something to be proud of?
It's consistency. It's at least that.
True.
I can at least say that much. Is it a good consistency?
Not necessarily.
Half the time.
Good, bad, good.
Yeah. At what point do you think they'll just pull the plug on it and say, fuck it, we have to move on and build a new build?
With the announcement of Windows 12.
Fair enough.
That's how people knew 8.1 was officially down the drain and whatnot. It was when Windows 10 got announced 3 years later.
Nice, yeah.
Yeah.
But do you think that it was in development for some time before then?
No. I don't think so.
They really just tried making Windows 8
because
work.
So much of the functionality of Windows 10 at first was based on Windows 8. It was just I think the most work they did was just the UI redesign.
Removing the tiles.
Yes, exactly. It was just making the UI less ass, and that was it. Yeah. So if Microsoft really needs to, they can make the poor programmers work overtime for 3 years, and
they don't make them work overtime as is.
True. Yeah. Although, to Windows 11 credit though, it is actually as far as like running programs go, it is actually a much more stable experience than Windows 10.
Yeah, that is true. I will give you that.
So,
all right, I'm just going through the list. Oh, we do have one more use topic. I'll start pulling that up. But I, it's kind of sad to be honest. Like,
yeah.
If you're playing baseball, you're batting 500. That's amazing. In this kind of industry, it's like, how do you keep messing up the stuff?
Right, exactly.
And it's honestly, it's all just been like the poor releases and whatnot, and just like basically every AMD user not being able to upgrade.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For some, like, honestly, kind of just like stupid requirements, in all honesty.
Yeah. Can't deny that one.
Yeah.
But you know what is pretty cool though? Our next topic. But with it, thanks to Tom Hardware, just a little interesting piece of news. Seagate debuts a 20 terabyte hard drive for mass deployment at a sub $700 price tag. No.
Wow.
That is honestly kind of amazing. But Seagate on Thursday introduced the first 20 terabyte hard drives for mass deployments, just like the company promised several months ago. The new Exos X20 and Iron Wolf Pro 20 terabyte hard drives target hyperscale data centers, enterprises, and NAS applications. The new drives will be available later this month for less than $700. Seagate's new Exos 20, which is 18 and 20 terabyte versions, and Iron Wolf Pro 20 terabyte hard drives, and employ the company's familiar 5th gen helium-filled platform, relying on 9 2.2 terabyte perpendicular magnetic recordings platters, and those platters are serviced by 18 heads that use two-dimensional magnets recording technology to deal with a very high track density.
Damn.
They got that is so much. If it's just like a regular 3.5 inch hard drive,
it is. Yeah.
That is impressive what you're able to stuff into that thing. But since Seagate did not increase the number of platters, it had to boost the aerial density to 1,135 gigabits per inch squared, which increases the maximum sustained transfer rate of the new drives to 285 megabytes per second.
That's pretty good for a spinning disk drive.
That is actually really, really solid. Meanwhile, all Exos X20 SKUs are rated upwards 168 to 550 random read and write IOPS at 4K or QD16, which align with the Exos 18 generation. Despite sharing the platform with the 18 terabyte predecessors, the new drivers lower average operating power to 7.7 watts, down from 8 watts. Well, that's not bad. This could signal generational optimization of the platform. All right, Taylor, when are you buying one?
I don't need to store 20 terabytes yet, although...
When you buy one, it's just $670.
I know, right? It's easy. It's easy. Easy.
Actually, the Iron Wolf Pro will be $650.
Ooh.
Think of how much stuff you could store on that.
Yeah, lots of
of
animated materials.
Lots of homework.
lots of study materials.
A lot of research notes. Oops, didn't mean to play the intro. Damn, that is impressive.
This is perfect for people who want like a small Plex home server or something.
Small little NAS.
Yeah, because you just need like one or two drive slots, and you are set. Yeah. I don't think all the shit you want to watch consistently will take up 20 terabytes of stuff.
It doesn't the Netflix library take up only 60 terabytes?
Yeah, compression is... Yeah.
But not only that, but their compression algorithm is actually really good.
So...
Yeah, it's...
You only need 3 of these for the entire Netflix library.
It's true. Yeah, it's only one server rack for the Netflix when they install it into an ISP, and it's kind of nuts. And anywho, this is the day that we need to start saving footage of Tech Thought videos and whatnot.
Yeah,
we'll look back at these.
You could store 100 copies of Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2019 on those. On just one of those.
Yes, Taylor, you can.
That's how I measure storage space. Is how many copies of Modern Warfare could it hold?
And that's what, like roughly like 300 gigabytes?
It's like 250 or so.
250?
200, 250. Yeah.
I wonder what's like now.
You can at least like uninstall the parts you don't want. So if you don't want Warzone, you don't have to have Warzone. If you don't want the
That's
campaign,
like 150 gigs right there, man.
Yeah, exactly. So
just the amount of like double tracking or like multi paths they do, and just leaving stuff like doubled or tripled in the files. Kind of crazy. Very unoptimized.
Actually, that is technically optimized, but in a different way.
I know. It's a very, in my opinion, a very cheap way of optimizing it with our current technology available.
Well, it's just they had to compensate for last gen consoles.
Fuck them.
Right? PC only.
PC only. That's the way to live.
Exactly.
I think that kind of covers all of our. All right, I'm by myself again. How are you guys doing today? Doing well? Good to hear. When will he be back?
Okay.
You good?
Yeah.
All right.
I just wanted to blow my nose. That's it.
You're all good.
Okay.
It's just the no warning thing.
Yeah.
Hey,
we have one more thing. YouTube has actually pushed the removal of dislikes. It's official.
I saw that. I think it was last night. I was like half asleep watching something. I was like, what the hell? I don't like it because at times we make some controversial content. Some questions.
Do we?
I mean, to some opinions, yes.
Okay.
Controversial. Oleander, I'm doing pretty solid, dude. Thank you for asking. How is your Thanksgiving? Was it good? You spent time with family?
I'm battling a head cold. Other than that,
what was I gonna say? I know we make some, like I said, controversial stuff. Like when I released my when this was a weekly video series, my past assault about Stadia, pretty much another step towards the death, and I was like very prominent about it, and that video was massively disliked. I was like, okay, people have very strong opinions about that. Good to know for the future. Also other things like that when we know we did something wrong or whatnot, because just have it makes a good reference point of, okay, we messed up somewhere in this. With the removal of that now, it makes it a little bit harder because we try to make content for people and they like it. And if they don't like it, then we understand, and that gives us a good basis to know. Although it's a shame that they just did it for the White House, let's be honest here.
It's more okay. Yes. No, it's like it's not only just like the White, it's more like large organizations just in general, I think.
Yeah.
Is kind of like trying to like censor it. Kind of,
Oleander,
protect the corporate overlords.
Oleander says removing dislike is kind of dumb in my opinion, and my Thanksgiving was good. Hey, very nice to hear.
Awesome.
But yeah, removing the dislike, oh my god, it's so dumb.
I mean, we can still see it like on our end, but it's just not public, and there's no way for us to make it public.
Yeah. If we had an option to do so, would not hesitate.
Yeah, exactly. No, we would. Full disclosure. Yeah.
Yeah, we try to be pretty transparent about just about everything we do.
Yeah, including talking about what we're filming later on the podcast live, like an hour before we do
Which we need to do.
Well, I know what I'm doing. What are you doing?
I have no idea.
Oh, okay, awesome.
We'll figure that out as we go, right?
Yeah, sure.
I have no idea what to do for topic this week. Raspberry on the board, Nerd Awakens, not glad I was on a different tab and didn't see that.
Thanks.
I'm doing good and got interview next week. I'm hyped for. Nice. But yeah, I wish we could show stuff like that. I think it's important for people to know when things are good and things are bad, because there's a lot of clickbaity things and wrong information out there. So there's no way to know, but I do push for the idea of people just commenting dislike.
Yeah, exactly.
Because that's the closest you're going to get to something like that. Just commenting dislike or something like that.
Transparency, unlike Sarah and Majesty. Yeah, that's a reference to a Susan.
Yeah. No, Susan. I got it. I'm aware. I get the reference.
Okay.
I'm not completely out of touch now.
No, I know. There's more of like name recognition.
Yeah. No, to be fair, her last name is very distinct.
True. Yeah.
Conspiracy theory videos too. Yeah, depending on the ones. Some of them are more entertaining.
Mm-hmm.
Dark 5 is always always good.
Yeah, Dark 5. There's this older channel in the same vein called Hybrid Librarian. That's pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Those are a couple good, older, good conspiracy channels.
There was this big, like, normie conspiracy channel called, like, All Time Conspiracies or whatever. They had to, like, around the time of the last Adoptocalypse, like a year or two ago, or Adpocalypse or whatever, they completely had to rebrand their channel to, I completely forget what it is now, just because, like, just the word conspiracy was just so detrimental to how YouTube treated their channel.
Let's
And it
find
wasn't, like,
out.
it wasn't, like, anything insane either that they did. It was, like, it was pretty normie conspiracy theories.
What was the name of the channel?
Let me look. Hold on.
Because I was gonna look it up real quick, and I can't necessarily show the home feed of Tech for Thought. I remember that one, yeah. What should I do for a video this week? Like, I still haven't gotten my freaking. I need to cancel the order for this my screen coming in.
Okay, it's just called Uncovered now. Oh, they've partially deleted their they've pretty much deleted their channel. Okay, that sucks.
I was about to say, let's search for that. America Uncovered?
No, it's just called Uncovered.
Okay. Oh no, America Uncovered is
China Uncensored, but like their American channel.
Yeah.
They're pretty good too. China Uncensored is good.
Yeah. They are very accurate on their news reporting.
Yeah, I've read some stuff where it's like, this is totally off topic from our podcast, but here we go. That it's like,
oh, my internet died. Hello? Oh boy. Hello?
Hello?
Am I still here?
You're good. Yeah, is our stream still good?
It says we're still up.
Okay,
real quick, Oleander did say that they didn't go full InfoWars, but all conspiracy discussion is harmful, apparently, even aliens or Bigfoot.
Yeah, exactly. Like,
yeah.
Anyway,
good job, man. I didn't do anything. It was Cox's fault.
Yeah, what I was saying was, what even was I saying?
You were saying this is completely off topic and said something about China Uncensored, then you cut out.
Oh yeah, okay. It's like I've read, it's like some stuff is propped up that it's like supposedly China Uncensored gets like heavy funding, and like a lot of their journalism gets funded by Falun Gong, which is this big like Chinese like spiritual like / religious movement sort of thing that's banned by the government of China. It's this whole thing. But it's like at the same time also having opposition media to China is not necessarily a bad thing. So, and it's not like their reporting is inaccurate about stuff. You know? Their framing is obviously biased with stuff, and their commentary is obviously biased against China. But you know, having
at least they're
stories
honest and open and truthful.
Yeah, having stories that are out in the open about, you know, what China is doing is good in general, and then you can disagree with the framing or commentary all you want.
Yeah.
So
do a good job about presenting it as well in a very calm manner too, unlike InfoWars. Let's be honest here.
Right.
I was working out this morning watching Fox News.
Look.
Look. But any other water cooler topics you want to cover while we're at it? Want to help me figure out my video? I have no idea what I need to do. I can't do a review of these headphones yet because I haven't had them long enough.
I had enough time. Yeah.
But yeah. Well, that's something I forgot to mention earlier. Is I got these for people who don't know what these are. These are the Drop Sennheiser Collab HD8XXs. They are very sleek. Got that nice midnight blue ring, and I had to get like a whole audio setup to come with it. So
I have to drive them properly.
Yeah, I had to buy a DAC and an amp and do all that fun stuff. And I got what I got for my stuff for people who are interested. I have the Shit Bifrost 2 for the DAC, and then I managed to get my hands on a iFi iCan Pro Signature. I shouldn't have it.
Shouldn't have, but
they sent it to me, so that's their problem. But yeah, these things sound beautiful on tubes.
Oh
yes, the tubes on just.
Tubes are definitely the way to go for anything with a very open soundscape.
Well, not only that, but like these headphones, like just from the little bit of listening I've done on solid state, it's they're harsh. They're like very like snappy, like to
Quisp.
the point. Quisp, yes. They're very like to the point where, or like on it to the point that causes like almost like a little bit of like, how do I describe it? It just feels like the beginning of it, end and stuff are just very poppy. It's like there's got a little bit of pop to it. But when you put it on tubes, it just smooths it out.
Yeah.
It brings it all in, smooths it out, gives it a little bit more room to breathe. On solid state too, you don't get as much as like the echoey type feeling as you would typically listen to music that's like filmed or recorded in a theater, for example. That bit of echo just isn't necessarily present on solid state, but shines on tubes. Feels good, man. Oh,
Feels good, man.
yeah. I'm just still kind of shocked that I managed to get my hands on this
your
amp.
version. Yeah.
Yeah. Their mistake.
Pretty insane.
Yeah.
Not your problem.
Not my problem. It is what it is.
Yeah.
I think that kind of recaps it up this week. Any other fun stuff that you got or that you're working on?
Nope. Oh wait, actually, yes. I guess you could say looking into doing like a home theater system because soundbar just isn't cutting it for me anymore. I don't know.
Just doesn't seem to be doing it.
Nope. Biggest issue I'm honestly running into is like receiver choice.
Mm-hmm.
Just trying to find one that's not like 2 or 3 years old already. It's just like receivers are definitely not an every year product by companies either.
No, you could buy a 2-3-year-old receiver. People run like 20-30-year-old ones all the time.
Okay. I guess it's mostly just like trying to figure out like my main hiccup right now before pulling the trigger on a Sony one that I really like is
I was gonna say Sony's like top tier as expected.
Yeah. Is like Sony with audio equipment, always a good bet, honestly.
Pretty much, yeah.
But it's like making sure it supports HDR10 plus.
That's fair.
It theoretically should. It's like it does HDR10 and Dolby Vision, but not HDR10 plus. Is a little bit newer. I don't know. Yeah.
Yeah.
So.
Because that one's. How long has HDR10 plus been out?
Like a year, if that.
Yeah, I was about to say it hasn't even been a year.
But I think it uses the same data space though, like as HDR10 anyway. So.
Let's Google that real quick.
HDR. Well, I tried Googling it. It's like, will something that supports HDR10 also support HDR10 plus, or?
Let's figure that out.
Yeah.
Trying to see, because this page won't load. There we go. HDR depth. It has the same color space, same peak brightness, accommodations, tone mapping, metadata. Now that was really helpful. Oh well.
Okay, well, there's this article from Yamaha saying that it's like Yamaha receivers that will that support HDR10 via like a software or like firmware update will support HDR10 plus. So that is something that doesn't necessarily require new hardware.
Yeah.
So that's a good sign.
And Yamaha is also literally top tier in anything they do.
Well, okay, now here's this.
They do so much stuff. It's insane.
Yeah.
I love they literally tune their
HDR10 plus already supported. Yeah. Maybe you need like a nice Yamaha one. Would be bad. Okay.
And you still plan on going with those Klish speakers?
No.
No. Why
no,
not?
I didn't do a more like budget speaker setup for now.
Aw, pussy. See?
But then the other like issue is like raising the TV up enough so that it's not cut off by the center speaker.
Like I said, like when we like you commit to it, you just got to get a new stand, like a new setup,
because you have to have
because you have to have access to the receiver as well. And with your current thing, you don't have access to the receiver.
Okay.
So you just have to commit to like new everything on that point outside the TV.
Yeah, true.
Yeah, so that unless you want to like invest in like a $2,000 LG QLED.
I'd probably do like a Sony or something, honestly. Just do like a full Sony
Bro,
home theater ecosystem.
That's not a bad choice.
Yeah.
But those LG TVs though,
Really nice. Nano cell is cool.
oh my god, they look so good.
Yeah.
That's that. If I for those who are unaware, I don't have a TV. I do like everything on my computer. If I ever committed to buying a TV, it'd be a super nice LG one, because it's just the tone mapping on it, and it just the blacks too. Crisp. I love it. But for now, right now I have a primarily LG main monitor, which is really nice. Been lucky. I think that probably about wraps it up.
Yep.
All right. And as we do wrap it up here, of course, we do thank you guys for watching and spending this time with us. We really do appreciate it. If you aren't already, go hit that sub button. And if you wish to spread the good word as well and figure out when we go live, you can hit the bell. You can go to our Twitter at tech_4 with the number 4_thought. And derp Matt, I like it. And spread the good word there. We do have an Instagram at tech_4 spelled FOR_thought. Those are good platforms. We do also have the membership program. If you wish to support us, it's like $5 a month. You get a badge, you get cool emojis. We do occasionally send out messages to members only as well. We do prioritize your chats as when they do come in on top of it. So yeah, I think that kind of recaps there. But for the people can find you on the internet, Taylor, where can they do that?
Find me on Twitter at Infurious7809. That is at INFERIUS7809.
And for some reason, if you wish to follow me in particular, I am at Filmed by G-Man. And if it's not too hard to find me, literally just take the derpy Matt emoji and you could find that on Twitter, and that's my face. But I think that does it for this week. So of course, do thank you guys for watching so much, and we'll see you next time.
Bye.
See you.